Hey there, it's Mario here, and in this video I want to share with you my 3 favorite books from 2016. So these are books that I personally recommend and books that have helped me the most and that I've resonated with the most when I was reading them. And there's a lot of books. I mean, I read a ton of stuff this year and a lot of audiobooks, especially audiobooks. Those are my favorites. And a lot of you guys that follow me on social media, you know that I read a lot and I recommend a lot. But I want to distill it to 3 books that I would highly recommend you to check out if you haven't already. So the first book, and my personal favorite from 2016, the book that I've kind of resonated the most with, is Deep Work by Cal Newport. And this book came just at the right time in my life. I felt like I was getting distracted by social media. I felt like I was in that trap of trying to brute force productivity by just adding more and more hours instead of taking a step back and looking at my methods of, am I really focused? You know, something that you can accomplish in 3 focused hours can be done in 10 unfocused hours, but I mean, you're missing out. You added 7 hours that you could have probably spent doing something else. And I felt like I was on a verge of burnout many times throughout the last year. I mean, I was doing daily videos. You guys know that I do daily, and it is tough, right? It really is tough at some point, and especially if you're distracted, if you're not focused, if the phone is ringing, if you're getting notifications. This book really inspired me to block out a lot of stuff, a lot of distractions from my life, install all these plugins in my Chrome to block out distractions. I had my phone in silent mode even before, but now I'm really putting more emphasis on that. I've disabled all the notifications. Pretty much everything is disabled just so I can truly focus on the task at hand. And I think this book itself is one of the most critical books that you can read in the current time and age where we're living right now. I mean, so much social media stuff is going on. Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. I mean, we're getting hit up from so many different angles, so many different notifications. The phones are ringing. I mean, just if you drive through a subway or in a bus or somewhere, your phone is non-stop ringing. Someone is talking, someone is just distracting themselves, but at the same time, you're being distracted, and kind of mastering that skill of focus using tools like meditation, really having that ability to pinpoint a laser focus on one single task until you get it done is a lifesaver. I mean, that's kind of, I think Cal Newport says, focus is the new IQ. Focus is truly the skill that is the most valuable skill in today's time and age, because if you're distracted, you're useless. And even like something, I think I read the study where even a small email distraction, which you just check the email, even though it doesn't take you a lot of time, it actually takes you out of that flow state, and you need about 15-20 minutes to get back into that flow state. So it's really about, you know, what the book really comes down to is kind of systemically approaching your focus time, really knowing when you're the most focused and how you organize your time to really use those most productive hours of your day to match with the most productive tasks that you have prioritized that you know will contribute the most to your success. And it's such a great read. Highly recommended. I mean, Deep Work, Cal Newport, incredibly awesome book. So the second book, and kind of builds upon this, and I was really big on productivity this year. I was reading a lot of productivity books. My second favorite is actually from Charles Duhigg, from the author of the Power of Habit, and the book is Smarter, Faster, Better. So this is actually a very complex book, right? It covers multiple different areas. My favorite sections of the book and the stuff where I got the most out of the book is the section on motivation, where motivation is actually linked to your locus of control. So when you actually take some kind of step forward, when you take action on something, you are more motivated because you feel like you're getting a sense of control, which is a really interesting concept that ties back into the whole idea of self-efficacy, the whole idea of the theory of motivation and self-determination theory. And it really brings back and connects certain concepts from Stephen Covey's book, The Habits of Successful People, where he talks about the locus of control and the power of circle of influence and circle of concern. It really ties well together with that book. Another really cool part of that book, of the Smarter, Faster, Better, is the focus part, where he talks about the flight and the cognitive tunneling, where a lot of people can actually, when they're under a lot of stress, if they don't build mental models ahead of time on ways how they can execute when they're under stress, they're gonna be so focused and tunnel vision on one single task that they're gonna miss everything else that is happening and ultimately make a poor decision. They're gonna be kind of distracted by themselves, right? Your own brain can tunnel vision very easily when you're under stress. And I noticed this myself when I get under extremely high pressure situations related to making videos, coaching, business, and all that stuff. I almost sense that I'm getting more in that tunnel vision mode. And in that tunnel vision mode really kills your creativity. You cannot do anything. You truly cannot produce meaningful work if you're trapped in that tunnel vision mode. Another good part of that book is actually how to use analytical skills to make decisions. Really, really awesome part as well on team building, on how you can create successful teams, impacts on different genders. I mean, it's such a great book. I think that one of my favorite things, I mean, there is from the whole idea of the book is that everything is kind of backed up by science, by literature, by stories, by really good data. So it feels like the book is a book that you want to reread multiple times, that you kind of extract more and more tools from it. And I would highly, highly recommend you to check it out. Even if you check out just a certain section from the book that you feel like you will get the most value out of, definitely recommend it. Check out Charles Duhigh's book. I mean, I'm going to link all of these in the description below for you guys that love to read this. And the third book, and something that I read in the beginning of 2016, one that made some impact, not just on my life, but actually on how I approach my coaching and with my clients. It's the book Get Up from Levine, a famous researcher from the field of non-exercise activity thermogenesis, from the exercise field. And he is kind of the father of the treadmill desk, of the standing desk. And the book is fantastic if you're kind of in that mode that I was in, where I was thinking, well, I'm exercising, you know, I'm doing 4 or 5 sessions in the gym a week and I don't really need to do more. I'm an active person. While in reality, I mean, and Levine argues this and really supports with a lot of data, and he's done some amazing research studies on NEAT, is that the energy expenditure part of the equation, where the most activity actually comes from, and something that is a natural need for your body, is to be moving, to be standing, to be active throughout the whole day, not just in the gym for an hour. In the gym, if you knock out an hour 4 or 5 times a week, you're still a couch potato, right? I mean, outside of the gym, what's your activity? Are you standing? Are you seated all day? Are you on your ass all day? What is the impact of that on your health? Negative impact, not just on your long-term health, but also short-term, how that impacts your cognition, your performance, your happiness overall. I mean, it's a fantastic book. Get Up, definitely recommend you to read that book. It's not a very famous one. I don't think a lot of people know about this. It really inspired me to switch to a standing desk. It inspired me to look at my step counter. It inspired me to get an activity tracker, and now I recommend for every one of my clients, I definitely recommend an activity tracker. I recommend a standing desk. Getting out of that seated position, I mean, right now I'm in a seated position, and I can feel instantly the impact it has on my back, on my focus, on my ability to express myself. And there's so many negative outcomes related to being in that seated position, being in that sedentary lifestyle. So highly recommend you to check out that book. And it's really an eye-opener on how we're switched from our natural state, which is being more active, moving around or walking, to just being in this seated little desk in the office and just being so inactive and kind of dying almost. It feels like we're dying every single day a little bit when we're just seated. We're not using our body to express it physically, and it's such a great book. Highly recommend it. As I said, I'm going to link all these 3 books in the description below for you guys that want to check them out. Let me know in the comments below, what's your favorite book? What's the favorite book that you read in 2016? I'm always looking for book recommendations, so will add that to my to-read list. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Aside from that, I mean, hit that subscribe button below if you haven't already. Check out that little bell button there, so you can click on the bell button and enable notifications from the channel so you can get notified when new videos come out. Thank you for watching again, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.